Hi, my name's James. I was born in Cambridge, England in 1984. My mother tongue is English. I studied languages, French and German at Oxford University from 2003 to 2007. I spent the third year living and studying in Germany and France. As I said, I was born in Cambridge in the south of England. I went to primary school up to the age of 9 in Epping, Essex, just outside of London, so my dad could commute on the tube for his business. When I was 9, we moved from the south of England to the north of England to a village situated in the Pennines between Manchester and Leeds, again for my dad's business. So I lived in the north of England for the last 2.5 years of primary school, all of secondary school, aged 12 to 16, and also sixth form college, aged 17 to 19. When I moved to the north of England, I was pretty much ridiculed for my accent. Children would say they couldn't understand me. They said I was posh, some thought I was Australian, they'd imitate me and so on. I never picked up the northern accent really, because I'd spent the first 9 years of my life in the south of England, but I did modify my pronunciation when I was at school and talking to friends who had a northern accent. With family I continued to speak in my normal accent. My mum has always had a southern accent, as has my dad. As a child I had a lot of input from my grandparents. My gran has a southern accent, not far off from the Queen's English, or received pronunciation, but not affected, as in she doesn't pronounce every single T at the end of words and things like that. My nan has a regular southern accent. My granddad has a slight London accent, not exactly Cockney, but certainly not posh. My grandpa spent most of his adult life in Switzerland working as an English teacher and spent his retirement in the south of France. And like my gran, he had a very clear, standard southern British accent. When I returned from Germany and France, my dad said that my accent had changed a bit. Maybe I was a bit more conscious of it. But anyway, I'm going to read the passage now in the way that I would talk to my family, or at work and things like that. See above those clouds, near where the blue sky appears to fold, some say it is the entrance to the floating isles where pirates still rule the air and dragons choose to live. Only the most skilled pilots can sail their craft close enough to even glimpse the light coming from within. You can't find those who know the way, they find you. Rather, you 4 lazy tourists must learn from your books and be ready so that you may not miss an opportunity to travel to that mysterious place. It would be an adventure that you would never forget. Now I think that's enough with this pleasurable storytelling. Go home and join your aunt. She's cooking fine food. I'll read the passage again in the way I would talk if I was really making an effort. I mean, I'm making a bit of an effort to speak clearly. My microphone isn't that great, so I'm speaking a bit sort of more forcefully or loudly than I would usually. But yeah, I'll read the passage in the way I would speak if I was talking to a non-English speaker. I'm really keen to teach English as a foreign language, so I want to speak as clearly as possible. See above those clouds, near where the blue sky appears to fold, some say it is the entrance to the floating isles where pirates still rule the air and dragons choose to live. Only the most skilled pilots can sail their craft close enough to even glimpse the light coming from within. You can't find those who know the way, they find you. Rather, you 4 lazy tourists must learn from your books and be ready so that you may not miss an opportunity to travel to that mysterious place. It would be an adventure that you would never forget. Now I think that's enough with this pleasurable storytelling. Go home and join your aunt. She's cooking fine food. I'll read the passage a final time, this time in the way I used to talk at secondary school. The main differences are saying, instead of things like craft and aunt, I would say craft and aunt. I always used to say grass instead of grass, pass instead of pass, things like that. I could never really do the northern equivalent of, above, enough, some, but you know, I've tried, and I'll have a go in this passage as well. See above those clouds, near where the blue sky appears to fold. Some say it is the entrance to the floating isles where pirates still rule the air and dragons choose to live. Only the most skilled pilots can sail their craft close enough to even glimpse the light coming from within. You can't find those who know the way. They find you. Rather, you four lazy tourists must learn from your books and be ready, so that you may not miss an opportunity to travel to that mysterious place. It would be an adventure that you would never forget. Now I think that's enough with this pleasurable storytelling. Go home and join your aunt. She's cooking fine food. So that's that. Final thing, or nearly the final thing I'll say, is that I listen to a lot of American music and I watch a lot of American films, so there is an American influence to my accent. I say things like it is instead of it is, wanna instead of want to. I wanna do that, I'm gonna do that. I always say hi, well pretty much always say hi and not hello. I always used to say hello when I picked up the phone, but I only really do that at work. On my mobile it's always hi, James Baker speaking, or you know, with caller display, you always know who it is, if it's friends or family. So I say, you know, hi Mark, hi Nan. I say yeah a lot instead of yes. You know, I say yes when I'm being more formal, but mainly it's yeah. So okay, I hope you found this interesting. Check out my other videos, my favourites, subscriptions when I subscribe to people. It's all stuff about language learning, language teaching. I can give you tips on French and German if you're English speaking and learning those languages. But I'd say the best thing to do is interact with native speakers if you can, or listen to French and German radio, things like that. Watch French and German films. That's the best way, really. That helped me to learn those languages. I used to listen to recordings of French and German radio on these things called, on these publications called authentic language learning. And in French it was authentique, in German it was authentic. They were just brilliantly written, recorded. It was all extracts from French and German radio. You know, things like Deutsche Welle, German radio, things specifically for non-native speakers, but also, you know, just news bulletins, you know, documentary type things, and also just like studio discussion, things like that, with, you know, with young speakers of French and German. It was brilliant. I used to listen to it religiously, you know, my Walkman, every day for hours and hours and hours. Every day out walking the dog, you know, on the bus, at night, in bed, just listening to French and German all the time. And then obviously spending time in France and Germany was really, really helpful. And, you know, getting, you know, sort of one-to-one sort of training with, you know, pronunciation. That was really, really useful. But yeah, I'm keen to learn some Southeast Asian languages too. Thai, Vietnamese, Mandarin. I'd like to travel to Southeast Asia and teach English as a foreign language. Really like to do that. If you're not a native English speaker, and you'd like to learn English or improve your English, I can definitely help you with that. Yeah, I'd like to speak, I'd like to learn Spanish and Italian as well, and loads of other languages. So yeah, thanks for watching.